Welcome to Psychic Tuesday. I'm your guide, Bernice Bisson. I am going to start with some of the crazy astrology at the top because we have a pretty intense moon coming up on May 12th. Scorpio full moon, really bringing us illumination on the areas that need deep transformation. But leading into that full moon is we have an interesting square between Mercury, which is moving into Taurus on the 11th, squaring Pluto. And Pluto is a bit of a thug this week, frankly, and the next 10 days. And Pluto in Aquarius can question people's logic, can be power challenges, logistics challenges, challenges of logic, challenges of even like trucking, vehicles, cars, um, airplanes, those ideas. Mercury really going into Taurus around um, technology and the economy, communications, technologies, the economy, and that could even be digital currencies, digital banking, anything like that could be a bit volatile because, like I said, power struggles. And again, what we saw in Spain and Portugal in terms of like mass power outages, I don't know. I feel like it pop up again in a weird way. Maybe not in that location, but maybe in other European locations, even parts of the US. And I feel like with this Pluto showdown, it has Venus joining. There's a sextile today, in fact, with Venus and Pluto, and Venus is just buttering Pluto up. Venus is almost like it's that buddy talking you into things you shouldn't be doing. And I feel like Venus is just convincing us or talking people into things they shouldn't be doing. And I feel like Pluto it can be a bit volatile with that square to Mercury, really causing, like I said, technologies, banking systems, financial systems, digital systems, frustrations, logistics, traffic, shipping things. These are all areas that could be kind of volatile over the next 10 days, and that could encounter technological issues. And so just to be mindful of that, and along with Pluto's in Scorpio, which is, Pluto rules Scorpio, one of the rulers, and Pluto being a bit of a thug and a jerk this week and going retrograde, going over old stuff that might have made them mad. Because we're at the very beginning degrees of this retrograde, and over the next few months, going over old degrees of power struggles. So we could see, tariff stuff back and forth. We could see old issues going back and forth. I mean, even in Alberta, which isn't counted as a hot topic, a lot of saber rattling, a lot of fear mongering, a lot of AI generated crap and bots on social media, and it's all this energy that goes under that sort of Pluto, Mercury, Venus energy the next few days, next 10 days. So I mean, I'm going to say be mindful about what you're reading online. You're going to have to really double check everything that kind of comes out. I mean, there could be crazy images like, the president dressed as the Pope and stuff like that. You never know. Could come out. Scorpio full moon is going to be deeply transformational, shedding light on areas that need to go. And that's that Pluto Mercury energy leading into this full moon on the 12th. And it could be very transformative in terms of sudden endings, sudden beginnings. And so in terms of sexuality, fertility, birth and death, and everything in between those extremes really could take on starting that full moon the 12th in the next 2 weeks, but really the next 6 months until we hit Scorpio new moon, we're going to feel that depth of transformation. And that is even particularly, we could hear news around what's going on in Gaza and Israel as well, because that Scorpio energy is very powerful and very transforming there. So again, lots of saber rattling, lots of threats, existential threats, big threats, the destruction, the revolution, the breaking down of old ideas and barriers in a very revolutionary kind of way. And again, technology, um, and some real challenges around power. So we could see that. We could even see uprisings or things starting to spring up in terms of um, mass gatherings, mass protests. We're going to see lots of energy or that the next 10 days, 20 days under this thing. So it gets people fired up. People are fired up and everybody wants to say something. So remember that everybody's going to have an opinion. Everybody wants to say something. So be really patient with people. Recognize that it's very fast energy. And that Scorpio full moon, I mean, Winnipeg, where I live, is a Scorpio city. And the Jets is about to go into their second round of the playoffs. And this is going to be, they're going to have to keep from getting hurt. I feel like that is going to be the biggest piece for the Jets, Winnipeg Jets here in Winnipeg, playing Dallas. Is that, remember, Pluto's a bit of thug energy, and Pluto rules Scorpio, Winnipeg, Scorpio City, which explains a lot about Winnipeg if you've ever been here. But around the Jets, because they have very much, depending on what start date we talk about, I like to think of them as Gemini energy. And that there is Jupiter going into Gemini. We've got Uranus going into Gemini, which could be really unexpected energy, which could be really big energy. Could be, so the big thing for our hockey team is that they can't get hurt. I guess that's my big message there. And if they can, it's the penalties that could get us. And I just remember that, Jets, for this next round. Okay. And so we are going to look at some of this intensity and how it impacts each of the signs. We're going to look at each, and you can listen to your sun, moon, or rising. That is your divine masculine, is the sun. That is, I think I see, I think I speak, I do. If I think of your chakra energy, it's also your social standing, your world outside, your work, your community, your friends. Your divine feminine is much closer. It is, I see, I feel, I desire in terms of our chakra energy. Of course, all governed by our root. And I like to think of that as our ascendant. It's what puts both of those together and drives it forward. So you can listen to all three signs to get your full message. And so I'm going to start off at the top today with Aries, because man, you've also got the transit Aries. You got the transit of Ceres into your sign. This asteroid is really around promoting your independence, and that this asteroid joining a plethora of planets bumping in your sign this year. By your next birthday, Aries, you got literally 6 celestial bodies all gathering, couple of asteroids. It's pretty big stuff for Aries, and Aries really governs pioneering, forward thinking, progressive energy, lots of action, fast moving kind of energy. So you guys are going to be really gearing up and really coming into, I don't want to say power, but into motion and to action. And so that's going to be good. And it is a time of your enlargement, of your expanding your universe out, expanding your world out, renewal, starting fresh. And you could have had like the carpet kicked out from under you, which would bring that fresh start for sure. Emotions will be strong. Emotions will be really powerful for you. You could be in the graces of others this next 10 days, that, you could get rock star parking. You could get people holding the door open for you. You could get a freebie waiting in the coffee line. And that this is a time of healing and really integrating that healing and doing some deep reflection, Aries. You've had a bit of hard-pressed year. And in this, I feel like you're going to start to be able to really integrate some of the healing that you have initiated. Okay, let's keep going. Tauruses, sun, moon, rising, our little Tauruses. And You've got Mercury joining there with that square to Pluto, and then in your house of partnership across from you, you've got that full moon in Scorpio. Ben, you could dump people, you could dump friends, you could dump situations that no longer serve you, and you would have already been showing this the last few years, Taurus. So I feel like this is the breaking out of the chrysalis for you. You're getting out of the chrysalis if you were a butterfly, and you're going to be sitting and just kind of perched as we get into Taurus season. And we get kind of deep into Taurus season, and with the sun sort of energizing you, I feel like there's new openings, new propositions. I feel like this is a purification for you, and this full moon really is going to bring in this purification in terms of your who loves you, who likes you, who hates you, who follows you, who stalks you, who gives you attention, right? This is going to be some big changes in all of those areas for you guys, and you could have some reverie in this. You could kind of gloat a little bit. You can kind of be loving the attention that seems to be coming in the next 10 days, but the next few weeks very much so, as it just isn't your birthday season. And that you could have a long awaited message coming in that you've been waiting a long time to hear from someone, and I feel like, or about something, and that I feel like you could be hearing about it before we head into Gemini season. So even before the third week in May, you could get some really darn good news, surprising news. Mercury is your ruler, but today is probably the hardest day, ironically, in terms of that Mercury energy squaring Pluto. So I just feel like your words carry weight, carry a light stick. They're Gemini or Taurus, sorry. Gemini, sun, moon, rising, Geminis, that is that Mercury energy really governing, along with Jupiter, along with the planet Uranus. We're going to be headed into your season right now where that sun is in your 12th house, really kind of shining light on your sore spots, your places that you might need to heal, the places you might need to do some work on. You could have some surprising triggers, like you could find people come out of the blue, situations come out of the blue that really going to trigger some action on your behalf. And even by your birthday, you're going to be able to maybe start to act on some of this stuff. But right now, you could be guarding your privacy, and that know that if there's any setbacks, they're minor, they're small, they're fluid, they're the finale in a sense before you move forward. With your birthday season, when the sun joins a plethora of planets to really amplify your reach, amplify your progressive forward, your goals for the next year, what you're shooting for. You're going to be able to really ramp up that energy. So now would be the time to hold back your energy a little bit, just, warm up for the season. It would just be the warm up right now is kind of the best way to look at it. And so, and again, protecting your privacy could be a big piece, or your downtime or your personal time there, Gemini. Geminis, okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's get into Cancerian season. Little crabs, you're going to wind up having a pretty powerful new moon coming up. And I feel like this is a nice reset because it's the first new moon not opposed by half the universe that was gathering in Capricorn over the last 7 years. So you really have an opportunity to break free in a big way, which feels pretty exciting, which feels like this movement forward could bring forward some exciting energy for you, like every possibility. Don't get roped in, Cancerians. Don't get nailed down. Don't get tied down. Don't get locked in, because this is a time where you're just finally getting your freedom and your direction and discovering really what all the possibilities are. And this could be in your career, or this could be in committed singledom or committed partnerships. Any area that you've been committed to other people in, I feel like you could have a real plethora of opportunities that will present themselves to you over the next 10 days and even over the next 6 months in a big way. But it's kind of exciting. So this isn't the time. This is the time to look at every possibility, every option, every eventuality. And that you'll be given taste of that certainly over the next little bit. Leo, sun, moon, rising. You know, this Pluto energy, that square is directly across from you with Mercury, and it's directly across from you in Aquarius. And so anything to do with your house of partnership, lovers, romantic partners, ex-partners, current partners, past partners, doesn't matter. I feel like this is a time that, you know, you have to get down to basics, that you have to shed what's not working. You have to pull back your energy from any past restrictions, people who've delayed you, people who've kept you stalled there, Leo. You're going to really there's a bit of a retrograde with Pluto, so you could find yourself going over old things you thought you agreed to with other people. You could find you have old conversations coming up again that you've sworn you had before. And you could even revisit conversations that you need to revisit, that you've been wanting to revisit, Leo, and that it could come around money, spending, values, expenses, debts, being surprised by debts, being surprised by cash flow, being surprised by money that comes through other people, comes through partners, comes through business partners, romantic partners, family, like people you're committed to, that you can find that Pluto Mercury energy could throw you for a loop a little bit. Not to let, again, it's going to be very temporary energy. This Pluto energy wasn't as strong as it was last year, so we're kind of breathing a little bit better, but still, I feel like it could be the final nail in the coffin, the final closing of the door on a situation that has caused you some stress there, Leo. Won't that be nice, huh? Yeah, that's what I think. Anyway, that's how I feel about that Scorpio full moon. Virgo, sun, moon, rising, the residue of things. So people leaving their residue behind, leaving their impressions behind. You could be ruminating, you could be going back over, you could be thinking about the past, missed opportunities, missed chances, missed people, missed loves, remembering remembrance. But I feel like what's coming around for you now is way better. It's way better. What's coming around for you now is more available, more in line with you. You could find your way out of a career direction. You could find your skills really transferable right now, that you could make a shift in terms of what you do for a career, a living, an employer. You can make a shift that has maybe been not so helpful for you over the last 2 years, but really now solidifying for you in your direction. This isn't a time of complacency. I feel like this is going to be a time of methodical details, having to work a bit extra, work harder, be very focused on not dropping the ball in any area. So you're going to be carrying a lot. I feel like you're going to make great first impressions. You're going to make great impressions on people. People could be really liking how you're showing up. You could be showing up and smelling right, looking good, like that. I feel like it's time for you to move forward, Virgo. No more ruminating in the past. And you're going to have this Scorpio full moon reset. And it could be with people, jobs, or situations where you really start to get maybe some of you'll see your insecurities. You'll see where things have been insecure, and you'll be able to start building some security around you now. It's exciting stuff there, Virgos. All right, Libra, sun, moon, rising. All this energy going into Aries, especially with Ceres around independence. This could be around your fiscal independence, Libras. This could be around inheritances, money, tax rebates, insurance payouts, little bits of finances that could come in kind of handy. Could help you plan for paying off a little bit of debt, maybe getting that little the trip you wanted or the new furniture you wanted. I feel like there's something kind of nice, a little bit of a victory for you there. And that this could be a time where you could be have more opportunities in relationships than you realized. And I feel like you could have been going down one rabbit hole or one path in terms of, oh, this possibility in this relationship or the possibility in that relationship. And I think you have someone coming back around. I think you have someone coming back around that you've already crossed paths with. And if you're already with them, then you're really able to take a new direction in your relationship, a new attitude, new communication, new skills, new way of looking, a new perspective. And I feel like that could even be someone that you might have been in no contact with you could have a new perspective on them. And I feel like there's something about that that could come together for you in past relationships. Could feel pretty good. Could feel kind of nice showing up for you. All right, Scorpio, man, this is your full moon coming. You're only one this year. And I got to say, really illuminating, and especially with the square Pluto, which is your ruling planet, standing up for yourself, getting a backbone, really, um, you know, speaking up, saying something. I feel like you could be putting an end to an issue. It could be a vice, an addiction, a habit, a pattern, where you're able to really put to bed something that has held you back in the past and really move forward in a big way. Normally when we have our birthday, that's a big reset, but this full moon with that Scorpio energy with Pluto, I feel like there could be the ending of issues that have been in your life. You could wind up, if you have had issues with your landlord, issues with where you're renting, you could have a new opportunity. If you've had issues with people who have not shown up for you, because now it's about a time of accounting, that this is now a time to take stock of who supports you, who doesn't, who's showing up for you, who's throwing a wrench into your plans, who's throwing a bone to you, who's like, hey, I got an opportunity for you. Because I feel like you could get some really surprising shifts in perspective that allows you to really move forward, surrender to it. I feel like your passions will be fed. You're going to feel very passionate about your new direction, or this new endeavor or opportunity that seems to come out of the ashes of old stuff. That, it really rises up out of the ashes of some old stuff there, Scorpio. So that's kind of exciting to look forward to, certainly over the next 7 to 10 days. Brings me to Sagittarians, Sun, Moon, Rising, Saggies. This is going to be a time for you to reorganize. You could be reorganizing your schedule. You could be starting to plan maybe your summer coming up. You could be planning your holidays, your time off. You could find yourself a bit distracted over the next 7 to 10 days, really about, maybe you needed time off already, and you're kind of feeling the need to take care of your health, your diet, your gut health, your physical health. You could be really wanting some, really fascinated about the time off coming up for you, maybe. So there's some nice energy around that for you guys. Remember to be mindful, not to get distracted or rerouted from stuff that you're wanting, because I feel like you're going to need a bit of discipline over the next few weeks until we get into Gemini season. And as we get through Gemini season, you could find a lot of work being piled on your plate, a lot of, and that could be stuff around your house, that could be renovations, home stuff, getting things done. And I feel like that's going to be an energy for you to harness, get focused, really work on the mindfulness, start to finish, start a project, finish project. Because I feel like this summer is going to zip by ya if you don't. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Cappies, this is a time of adornment for you. This is a time for new clothes. This is a time for new hair, new facial, new skin, new getting yourself ready for summer. You could have had a lot of worry and anxiety or assumptions, and find an uneasiness over the last few months, and that's going to start to ease or dissipate, particularly as we get past Cancerian season. And I just feel like you're really evaluating where you might have found you've wasted time, energy, resources, or money, and really resolving not to do that in future. You could be really maybe living simply and saving money, hoarding your money, but pulling back, really focused on what you need, what's going to advance you, where your finances are, and what's going to move you forward. And so I do really feel like this is going to be a time about not wanting to be bugged with people's demands on you. So it's okay to be a bit selfish there, Capricorns, and really focus on making yourself beautiful, making yourself healthy, making yourself well, fattening up your bank account a little bit. And it might take a bit of effort. It might take some, you might start working out. You could start a savings plan. You could start a regimen, a skin regimen. You could start really doing self-care. So there's some big stuff for you around this, Capricorn, that I do think is going to serve you really well. The next 7 to 10 days for our little Aquarians. And you've got this Pluto energy in your sign being a bit of a jerk to other people. And so you could find yourself frustrated with people. Like you could find yourself not being heard. You could find yourself a bit frustrated. And I feel like don't yell, don't have to be louder. This would be a time to become very focused on your message, focus on the important points of what you want to say, because that Mercury Pluto could really force you to decide how to approach things there, Aquarius, and that your voice matters, your opinion matters. You could be really formulating your belief systems right now. You've been getting inspired wisdom, insight that really formulate your mind in a different way. So this full moon, it seems to awaken along with this Pluto Mercury square that could challenge you in a way that you will rethink how you communicate with people. Pisces, sun, moon, rising. I've left you to the last, so I got 1 minute and I'm going to spend it with you saying, Pisces, this is a time where you have some major planetary movement forward. You could feel a bit drained. You could feel like your energy is running a bit thin. That's okay. Take your vitamins, get your sleep, get your rest. This is going to be a time as we get into Gemini season where I feel like your love life, your friend life, your social life is going to get on fire. And it's going to be kind of hot this summer for you guys in terms of sexuality, fertility, getting to know people, getting to meet people, intimacy, divine passions. Oh, it's kind of exciting energy for you with all this energy going into your second house of how you're being valued. So I'm going to say, boy, Pisces, get your summer health on, your summer body, because you're going to be out there mixing about, meeting up a storm with all kinds of people. And so I'm pretty excited for the next 7 to 10 days. This full moon's going to awaken all kinds of different aspects of ourselves. And I look forward to myself. And so join me again next Tuesday for Psychic Tuesday for 30 minutes of astrology. And you can join me Wednesday, May 14th at my art show here in Winnipeg. And you can find me at bernicebissonpsychic.com. I'll see you again next week.